What took us so long to come back? It seems like it always, it normally takes us about 3 years to get round to any country, not just Mexico, like everywhere. From the time that we, release an album, first play there, and then finish touring, and make another one, and release it again. So it's normally a kind of 3-year cycle. But yeah, we're so happy to be here again. It's amazing, and we're playing these 4 shows. We played one last night, and it was just insane. The crowd are just amazing, really, really amazing, and it blew our minds. And we literally just arrived because we had to fly in because we were in a different country, and we arrived late. And pretty much went straight on stage, and we didn't sound check or anything, so we didn't get to see the venue or the arena, and walked on stage, and we were like, Jesus, this is so big, it was such a wide arena. It almost felt like a stadium, But yeah, the audience is amazing, so we're just, really excited to be here and play these 4 shows. I'm sure they're all going to be unique and amazing. Well, last time we played here, we played at the 40 Sol, which looks like a kind of baseball stadium or something, maybe, yeah. And again, just the audience's reaction, I suppose, to the music is something that just really stuck with us. And I remember it felt like there were so many people jumping up and down. It felt like, I think they actually caused an earthquake that night, because there was an earthquake later on in the evening. I was asleep though, so I didn't feel it, but it was a little one. But I remember we had the production where we were on the towers going up and down, like the 3 of us were on these towers that moved up and down the stage, and the gig started with us on top of the towers. And I remember the crowd jumping up so much and uprising that all the towers were shaking and rocking around, and we were like, oh yeah, Dominic was feeling a bit kind of nervous because we were so high off the floor and wobbling around, but because of the audience, because of them jumping. Yeah, I mean, it's the second album that we decided to produce by ourselves. I suppose this album, it was just, it was meant to, and does sound like us just in the studio, just doing whatever the hell we wanted to do, and kind of trying out lots of experimenting, I suppose, with lots of different styles and genres, probably, of music, which is what we set out to do. We wanted to try and create, a certain character for each song. And I think we made a point about all those songs having very different kind of sounds, and we approached them in different ways. So yeah, some of it's really kind of electronic sounding, like Madness and Follow Me. Some of it's really rock, like Supremacy and Survival. Panic Station is kind of like funk, pop, or whatever it is. Which was certainly the point of making the album. So I think, yeah, this album was just us really. You can really hear us experimenting a lot in the studio. So we'll see what happens next time. But it was it was definitely a fun album to make. Yeah, I suppose it's always hard to choose a song, because every album you do it becomes more difficult to make a set list, because you can't play for 3 hours unless you're Green Day or the Foo Fighters, or Metallica or something. We can't anyway, get too tired. So yeah, it becomes harder, but I suppose, because it's a new album, we want to play a lot of new songs, so we're playing quite a few new songs at the moment. But it's a mix. Over these 4 shows that we're doing here in Mexico City, we're just, we're mixing up the set list every night. It's a different show every night, and so we're changing up and trying to play as many songs as possible. But yeah, it's pretty difficult, but it's, it's like 50%, 40% new stuff, 60% old stuff. Yeah, well, it was a kind of, relatively cheesy Italian TV show for a rock band to play. Maybe the TV show's cool, but it's for us to play. It's like pretty early in the morning. you can't play live because then they don't have the equipment for you to go in and play live, so you have to just mime, play along. And it was a football show, you know, one of those shows where, like, you know, it's about football, but then loads of girls come out bikinis and stuff and like cheer, and you know, it's all very weird. So we've done a few kind of like miming TV show performances in our past, and we've often kind of messed around or changed instruments. We've done it a few times, so this time we decided. Matt was like, "Hey, you should sing," and I was like, "Oh no way," you know. And he's like, "Okay," "I'll play the drums." But, you know, the only way to do it is if we all swap. So Chris plays the guitar, Matt plays the drums, I play the bass. So I brought my bass along. And we just said, you know, we just went for it. It's quite last minute though, because I tried to bottle it, but then I was like, okay, fuck it, I'll do it. But I got a tiny little insight into what it's like to be a front man for a band. How hard it is to remember lyrics, let alone, you know, for Matt, you know, credit to him and every other singer in the world that has to go out and remember all those lyrics, because you know, I had to just really kind of remember one song, and I knew it, and then I was just about to go out, and I just had a full blank, like nothing, couldn't remember a single word. I was like, what's the first line to the second verse? Just give me the first line, it's all gone. So yeah, just about got through it, but it was pretty funny. Anyway, yeah, so the host of the show believed that I was the singer, and she had no idea who we were, and she thought I was Matt, I suppose, and thought that I lived in Como in Italy, which is where he did for a bit. A small bit of time, and so it was kind of funny. And then I think she got a bit of flack, you know, the next few days after the TV show, because she looked like, you know, like she hadn't done her research. But it was funny, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's bizarre, you know. It feels you know, it can feel very strange to know that. So, you know, that amount of people want to kind of see you play, and we get to play, you know, kind of big gigs all over the world, and it's amazing. And it's just saying before, it's kind of, you know, it's something that it's kind of a double-edged sword in some ways, or it's like a double answer in that we, you know, it's certainly something that we set out to do, to try and achieve these crazy goals, but at the same time, it always comes as a surprise. So, but yeah, it feels amazing. I mean, from the small, young 3 kids that started in Plymouth, like our first gig was a Battle of the Bands, which we won, weirdly, to where we are now. It's insane. But I think, you know, during that whole course of many years, I think, you know, it was something we always had our kind of sights set on. You know, we kind of knew that we wanted to, you know, achieve things in our life. I suppose, you know, everything we did achieve, I think we always wanted to try and kind of push ourselves and, you know, travel to more countries and, you know, let more people around the world listen to our music. It's always something we wanted to do. We were never just like, okay, that'll do, let's just stay here in one country, in England or wherever it is. You know, we always wanted to just keep on going and, you know, pushing ourselves and pushing the tour and production and the size of the gigs. And, something we've always wanted to do, so here we are now, doing this, and let's go see. The second North Tour's been really, really great. I think what I've enjoyed the most about this tour is I think yet again we've kind of changed as a band and changed as a live band, changed as performers, because when we first started this tour, the same show and thing production that we're doing here in Mexico, we started this like over a year ago in Europe, and just the way that the stage is designed and the way that certainly Matt and Chris are performing, there's much more kind of interaction with the audience, I feel, with the band and the audience now than there ever has been. So that feels like a real step up in our you know, as a performers in the band. You know, we're playing with people all the way around the back of us as well, so it's, you know, I'm spinning around on my drum kit every night, spinning around like this, and Matt and Chris are kind of running around the back and playing to people behind us, and you know, I think that's what I'm enjoying the most. The show feels very, very different to anything we've done before. I think we've had to kind of evolve as performers to make it work. But yeah, new stuff. We haven't worked on anything new just yet. We're gonna get into new stuff next year, early next year, I think, and then I don't know, I guess start recording sometime next year. Thank you. Cheers.